Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mic'd Up with Kay. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you that engaged with episode one. And honestly, that kept me going and gave me more motivation to actually jump into episode two. And for episode two, we'll be talking briefly about taking that leap of faith. And how does that resonate or relate with me? Let's take it back. Remember the last time I did mention that where I was with my studies, and it seemed like people actually asked a lot about that. How did you choose what you're studying? Or how did you come about to actually be where you are? So, little background. I did mention where I studied. So, right after I matriculated, it happened that I got accepted to study at CPET uh, to do my chemical engineering. But before we even got that, we all know that there's always that story that happens before you actually get to your dream school. Well, some of you guys do get lucky and actually get to go to the first preference that you had for university. Amongst many other universities, I had the possibility of going to other institutions, but I couldn't due to different reasons. One of my friends would actually attest to that because we went day in, day out looking for residence in Joburg. And once everything was confirmed, unfortunately, I couldn't get a space at that institution in Gauteng. And then when we saw like things were not actually aligning, and then that was when that moment happened and I got accepted. And I was like to my mom, girl, I'm leaving. Well, I didn't say girl, but had a chat with her. I'm like, I got accepted and I think we gonna have to move to Cape Town. She was like, okay, cool. It wasn't as easy as I'm making it sound, but it was at a point where it's either I go or I stay home. Many of you will understand that at that moment, you get to actually see if you're going to be able to stay at home and do nothing, or you're going to go to a new, different province. Well, others would say it's a new, different country because you guys know how Cape Town can be. But to a new, different province without any family member, but at least hoping that your life will change better. And that is how I ended up going to Cape Town. The first few months were very, very, very hard. You guys all know, when you move from like being a matric student, whether you have taken a gap year or not, but having to move to a new, completely different place is very hard. And for me, as hard as it was, that was what had kept me going throughout those months. I moved to Cape Town, CPUT. As cliche as it may sound, also did not have residence. I think I went to the res department day in, day out, bothered them as much as I could. And over time, I was able to get a place to stay that side, moving from a private accommodation. And due to a lot of constraints or restrictions financially, I had to make sure that I make it possible to actually get residence. So if hadn't I agreed or told my mom that I'm leaving, then Gama wouldn't be where she is right now. So to wrap it up, take that leap of faith. It might not be about your institution, it might not be about university, tertiary education. It might be about starting that business. It might be about making that content to push you throughout. It might be about just teaching someone something valuable and it will actually work out. So that is on episode two of Mic'd Up with Kay. See you on the third episode. Thank you.